Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Entropia content. Now today, oh boy, started recording just when I woke up. And I messaged, Calypso, or not Calypso, Entropia customer support to ask them what's going on, how to work this, what is it called? The Ped Flow Center. The Entropia Exchange. Ah, there we go. So I really don't think mine are going to sell. So that's where it is, in the sell section. I was worried that they didn't get put for sale. Now let's check how bad the price of Greece shares has plummeted. You know, I had a weird dream last night, and two of them actually. So I was wondering if either of them are going to come to pass in some way today. One was a sinking ship. It was weird. I got a job where I was hired to work for my brother, and he was working on a ship, and he was like, it was funny, it was like this ship dock in the middle of the city, except it was this giant pond, and then they had this ship in it. So we started working on it, and then we had to go for lunch break. So we went for lunch break, and when we came back to the ship, it had sank in the pond. So like, oh no, the boss or the guy who hired us is going to be so upset, because this was like a luxury ship, like a really big one. Had like a prime like dining room and apartment built into it as like a houseboat. So we're like, oh god, he's going to be devastated. So we spent the whole rest of the dream trying to find a way to raise the ship. And then we raised it a few times and then it just sank again. So that was a funny dream. Well, kind of stressful, but at least it wasn't that bad of a nightmare or anything. I almost got trapped in the ship the one time when it sank, so I was a little bit more careful. Then the other dream I had was that our house had like this electrical fire, and it almost caused a fire, but we managed to turn the breaker off before it did. So I'm like, oh geez, it's like dreams of disasters. So I'll have to be careful today. What other kind of disasters will I encounter? Some kind of sinking ship maybe. Alright, so I don't even know if I can dare look. Oh yeah, we're down to 845 already. If I had to guess, the price of these shares is going to drop down to about $1 or $2, or one Project Entropia dollar, and I'll have lost all my money. So I figure maybe instead of just selling them, I'm going to bite my losses and wait until these shares all sell out and go back up to full price, which probably will take years for it to happen. So, oh well. It's not the end of the world too. I was thinking about it yesterday, and a lot of good news came yesterday, so it's like I can't really get too down in the dumps about these deeds. I've pretty much already accepted the money as a loss when I realized it was a horrible mistake to buy them. Alright, so at least I was worried that what I did was one of those auction mistakes where I sold them all for $1 by accident. So at least I didn't do that. I'm pretty surprised. I'd be surprised if not every single person that bought those Greece shares decides to sell them. Not to rip on Mindark, or not Mindark, the Next Island Planet Partners. It was kind of a neat to try the Entropia Exchange. Maybe there's some plus sides to it. Haven't really seen any at this point, but I'll try to keep my mind open to it. Maybe there's some goodness to it I just haven't realized yet. Alright, let's begin some mining to begin the show today. Boy, I hardly got any probes dropped yesterday. Oh yeah, that's right, because we did a bit of crafting to start too. Alright, so they started us right on some zinc. I don't really like zinc, but I'll harvest it either way. Now some of my friends are posting on Facebook that it's their harvest season this week for their plants too. Even some of my friends in California. I was thinking, man, they're so lucky being in California. Weather-wise. Well, I guess other than the fires. It's like fucking winter outside, and if it wasn't for a greenhouse, my plants would be dead already. The The one plant I had to trim off half the branches because they had all died from frost. But I decided not to throw the buds out, trim them yesterday and put them in a tray. So I'll have a tray of like frostbitten weed. It doesn't look too bad. I think when it dries, you might not even be able to tell that it was frozen at one point. The only weird thing is it changed colors when it got frostbite. It turned to like purple tips on the leaves. Oh, there's some carrot. 25 carrot and no resources. Isn't it funny, eh? Every time you find more resources. Or fruit. So that was 22 papillon. This place is paying out. Now yesterday was pretty cool too. I was sharing that story about the big event coming up on Monria for Halloween. And I got a few comments from players. One player was actually, I forget who it was, Christian or something, was mocking my show, saying that I don't really get any viewers, maybe like one like an episode. I was thinking, yeah, it's actually kind of for the better, because I do a kind of wild show. I was thinking, geez, if I had a whole bunch of people watching, I'd probably get too nervous to be myself. So, in a way, there's a plus side and a downside to having few viewers. I was thinking, yeah, I could change the show to try to make it more appealing to other players, but this is just what I like to do, so I figure I'm not really out to do it for collecting millions of likes or something. No, and two, not to like say that I'm not like going to try to make a successful YouTube channel and get likes and subs and stuff. That's why I'm starting to work on, yesterday I placed a new order to order the camera again that I had lost and already bought. It's fucking annoying. But yeah, so I placed an order for it, so as soon as that sucker arrives, I'm going out doing my first day vlogging. A lot of my biggest heroes from YouTube are all vloggers that do outside travel videos, so I'm really looking forward to giving that a shot. I have a feeling there's a good chance it'll fail, but I think compared to Entropia content, I'll have a much better chance of getting tons of views and subs. Not to make fun of Entropia or anything, but our community is extremely tiny, right? Like when you think about it, if there's like 1,000 active players a day, and I got like 200 of them watching my videos, what is that? Is that like 20% of the whole entire game population is watching my videos? So that's pretty intense. Now I know there's that figure that says there's 50,000 players or whatever, but I highly doubt that figure. I know in most cases, almost all the accounts are constantly just fake accounts being created so that people can sell sweat that need low agility. I know those guys that do the events that are trying to help people, new players out, but I'm sure even they must realize it. Maybe some of them are MindArc officials, or nah, that's a little bit too conspiratorial. No, I think MindArc doesn't shut down those sweat buying events because they realize too that it looks better for investors if they have a whole bunch of people creating accounts all the time. So if someone's event is creating people or forcing people to create fake accounts, then it actually makes their company look better on the books. Now technically, if MindArc wanted to stop the fake account creation, they would ban events like that require agility to purchase sweat, just so that people don't keep creating fake accounts over and over again. This is weird. I thought I began at Emily's, so I must have walked the wrong direction. Oh well. See, that's what I was thinking too. As many as people hardly give likes to the video, I think a lot of people are still watching the videos. They just don't have time to like it because they're watching it on devices that don't have a like button. I know, like when I watch it on my Amazon TV or Shield TV, it's really hard to hit like. Like they don't even give you the option until you like cycle through all these menus, and it's like, who's really gonna take the time? Usually people just watch it. Hey man. Now, I find it very awkward when people call me like a famous YouTuber or a legend or something. It's like, come on, guys. Not even at 1,000 likes or subs yet. But I guess in Entropia I am pretty popular. Small community. Now, my goal really before I say like I've made it and became a famous YouTuber is at least when I get 1,000 subs. That'd be nice. Now, I'm pretty sure that if it wasn't for the whole lockdown situation, I would have started vlogging Oktoberfest. And because I live in this city with the biggest Oktoberfest outside of Germany, I think. Maybe I could be wrong about that. Maybe someone else has a pretty big Oktoberfest too. Our city's like borderline getting close to at least 1 million people now. And pretty much everyone celebrates it, so... The only thing I thought was a little bit awkward, it was this one Oktoberfest celebration. Our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, came and did the keg tapping for us. So I was like very excited. I've never heard Justin Trudeau do speeches or ever see... Well, I think I did see him in public once when I had another job where I was like catering to people. And I think he was one of the people that was eating at the place that I worked at. And everyone's like, oh, he's going to be the next Prime Minister. So it's like, I think Justin was actually sort of groomed to be the Prime Minister for a long time. People were assuming that he was going to be it well before he even won the election. So anyways, he came to our school, or not our school, our work and ate. Oh yeah, and then he came to our city, that's it, and did the keg tapping for Oktoberfest. Yeah, he's talking. Thanks, man. He put the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, your videos, have been watching them on a daily, looking forward to them. Only 2 weeks to go. Yeah, I was thinking, dear God, today's the day, 15th, only 2 weeks to the end of Sober October. But technically I'm doing one extra day, so I got two weeks and 1 day. What happened there was, I forgot that it was October, so I actually did the first day of October still getting wasted. Well, trying to get wasted. I've been built up such a high tolerance to my weed that I can no longer catch a buzz. It didn't even matter the strain, hash, oil, just fucking super high tolerance, so it didn't matter. It's kind of like when you become a raging alcoholic and then all of a sudden you can't get drunk anymore. Unless you can manage to quit drinking for a long time. Right, so I gotta make it down there. That was my problem. Can I make it down there and survive, though? This is a steep cliff. Oh god, lost so much health I barely even fell at all. Come on, I'm not really falling. Oh, I'm dead. Son of a whore. Yeah, I don't see myself making it down this cliff to be able to continue along the seashore. Pretty annoying. Ah, there's another teleport there. The Enchanted Village. Let's try getting into the water from there. Yeah, so when Justin Trudeau came and did the keg tapping and got to hear him speak in public, he's a really charismatic guy, funny. When he has speaking to a crowd, he usually, like, he's a really good entertainer. So it's like, it is kind of like we hired a celebrity to be our Prime Minister. Yeah, and he had some interesting stuff to say. He said that he was going to dress up in lederhosen, like the traditional Oktoberfest German clothing. And because that's what everyone in our town does, the girls dress up with those fucking huge boob fucking shirts where you can show off cleavage. I was like, oh god, it's the most amazing clothes ever. And then the guys have to wear lederhosen. So obviously, Prime Minister wasn't going to wear a big bosom shirt. But he didn't wear the lederhosen either. And people are a little bit upset. They're like, come on, Prime Minister, you've been going around all over the world dressing up in different cultures. How come you came to our keg tapping and you didn't wear lederhosen? And then he said that his bosses said that he's not allowed to dress up anymore. I think it's because he was getting made fun of quite a bit on Facebook for dressing up. But what I found funny about that is like, who's his boss? Isn't he the boss? Maybe that was just a ploy to not wear the lederhosen and blame someone else. The victimhood. Our prime minister is a victim. Now, so speaking of different events coming up, like Oktoberfest, I shared that video and some people were posting that they are going to go to the Monterey event. So yeah, I hope everyone does. I'm going to try getting a costume contest going, and I realized, geez, it's almost Halloween and I didn't decorate any of my shops yet. So I really should do that too. So I'll try to finish this freaking mining, get the Listerium I need. Ah, fuck, man, I really should have finished this yesterday so I could have got another round of the daily mission in today. Oh well, I just got really frustrated with the game yesterday and it was making me a little bit upset, so I was like, fuck this. I need a break from it. I gotta keep putting things into perspective. It's like, man, my health is the main important thing right now. I shouldn't be freaking out over stupid stuff like money, no matter how much the value it is. It's all worthless piles of paper anyways. Or electronic digits. Oh, I didn't even hit enter. I hate when I do that. Yeah, counting the days. Now the weirdest thing too is being sober October is right at harvest season, so I'm harvesting all my plants and I want to try them. I can't. Oh, the misery. Oh, did I harvest all my resources, or was I talking and missed some? Alright, so that's all them good. So man, am I ever looking forward to when that new book arrives in the mail? Holy. That's what I'm counting the days for too. I think they said the 20th is the soonest it could arrive from Turkey. So another 5 days to go. Now if people don't know, it's like a lot of the ancient mystery stuff. The ancients, they seem to know how to build on this giant grid. Like an energy grid. Some people call it ley lines. I tend to call it gravity wells after I've been researching it. And I think that's a more scientific term. Although ley lines does kind of sound neat because that's where actually my first name comes from. Or my given name or whatever it's called. The name I cannot pronounce. No, I think Leland is a play on the name Leyland. You're supposed to actually say it Leyland. And I realized this when my grandma, she's Welsh, so she says it Leyland. And then I started to realize that the reason she's saying it Leyland is because that's actually the correct way to say it. It's an old English word. So being Welsh, you probably realize that. If people that are from Canada and the States don't even realize, like I never realized it either, is that all over Europe they speak different languages. I know like when I was a kid they taught us like such little things about Europe that I literally thought for most of my life that everyone in Europe spoke English, except for maybe like Swedish people. I thought they spoke whatever Swedish or something. But I had no idea that like even in England that there's more than one language. So yeah, there's like Welsh and English, and then there's also English. So my grandma's was one of the people that could speak Welsh, although I don't believe she was actually from England. I'll have to check, like I know my grandparents on my dad's side of the family were when they came over. And I checked it. I thought it was my grandpa that came from Germany, and I found out no, it was actually his dad that came over from Germany. So it was my great-great-grandfather that came from Germany. Or no, great-grandfather? I think that would be it. So here I thought that I was like a third generation Canadian, but I'd actually be fourth generation. That's how I was, or no, yeah, I'd be the third. Now I was thinking that my nephew is actually a fifth generation Canadian. Because it was his great-great-great-grandfather that came over. Or no, great-grandfather? No, it'd be his great-great-grandfather that came over. So I was thinking, isn't it ironic that, like, he's gonna have lived in Canada for many, many generations, and yet he'll still be called a migrant by people. That's one of the things we enjoy about living in Canada. Now, that's why I laughed when the Syrians complained that they're still called migrants and they've lived here for like a whole year. I was like, a whole year? It's like, man, we've been here for 5 generations. We're still called migrants. It's the whole skin color thing, right? Everyone says, oh, your skin color's equal until it comes to migration laws. Then all of a sudden, skin color is everything that matters. Which is kind of sad, but I'd like to see a day when everyone in Canada is just called Canadians, that we can all be native to this land. Doesn't matter how many generations your family's lived here. And then the whole indigenous people thing kind of strikes me the wrong way too, because aren't we all indigenous to Africa, according to the science or whatever? So it's like, isn't everyone indigenous to Africa? When we start saying people are indigenous to other places, it's like, well, yeah, your family migrated here, killed all the Neanderthals, and took the land. That's how things work, right? Like, yeah, so I don't want to get into too much politics. Get cranky in the morning. Okay, I better check. Did I just drop probes and not harvest them? Alright, good. Now, so Justin Trudeau came and did that Oktoberfest thing, and I was thinking, geez, man, if I was there and filming it for a vlog, I could probably at least get 10,000 views. Because what happens is, everyone who's considering coming to Oktoberfest, before they do, like, what's the thing you do when you go to travel somewhere? You end up usually YouTubing it to just, like, get a little bit of information about the place before you go. So I noticed that when I started filming different places and doing vlogs, that's what most people would put in the chat. They'd be like, hey man, thank you. I was planning a trip here and your video was very informative. Gave me some information about what I could expect when I go on this trip. I felt bad. The one vlog video I did, you guys can check the archive. I would link it at the end if I could remember. Maybe I will. Who are we kidding? Anyways, yeah, the one place I did was called Agawa Canyon. And it's basically, whatchamacallit, the Grand Canyon of Canada. It's this giant canyon, carved out by, they say, the glaciers or whatever, right? So yeah, I did a travel video of that. And I tried to hype up the destination for the video. Like, I'm like, hey, this place is great, look at all this scenery and stuff. But in the back of my mind, I knew that that trip was actually really hardcore, and most of it was really boring. So it was like the parts that I made for the video, maybe it was like 10, 15 minutes of action, but it must have been like 8 hours of fucking boring shit. Like how it worked is, fuck, I keep using the wrong digger. Here, let me take this thing and move it away so I don't fucking keep using it. Piece of horse shit. Anyways, while I remember, Bonnie posted a cool thing. Maybe I'll do it right now. Found it. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll bring it up. No, sorry guys, I promised to do the Entropia news at the beginning, but usually I can't remember all the news until I go, so as my brain starts to wake up. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, so sorry Bonnie, I hope she doesn't mind showing off her post on Facebook. I'm sure she doesn't mind because it's social media. But anyways, right, so here it is. There happens to be a new repair tool. Let's see what you put. First of its kind in the game, finally. I was going to say I've never seen one before. Like I've seen the RK5s and the RK20s, but now there's an RK35. So this is for people that want to boost their skill level up faster for crafting, if you do repair work with these RK things. So if you're wondering how I get better prints in my loot runs, that's what I noticed is when I boosted my skill up crafting on motherships, and I got up to higher crafting levels, that all of a sudden I started looting better blueprints. So that's one little trick or tip. But just don't go buy the RK35 if you haven't leveled up to that point yet. Because like you get certain learning period skill bonuses, and you should always try to match those. Because that way you'll get more skills per Project Entropia dollar. Right, so what else was there? Bonnie did that, and I think she had the Halloween stuff, or that's what I posted. Alright, let's read the comments over for a bit of Entropia news. People putting all their money into AUDs, it seems. Yeah, it says that the Arcadia Underground deeds are skyrocketing in value, while the Next Island Greece ones are just plummeting. And I believe that's correct. Alright, yeah, and this is Christian Rafa. He was the one posting that only get 1 like on my podcast. And yeah, he is right true. Sometimes a lot of episodes don't get many likes. So I guess if you want to prove Christian wrong, guys, when you watch the episode, don't forget to like it. Oh yeah, and then Raven Jade was nice. She put that she watches the show and thinks it's great, but I don't think she likes it every time. Well, maybe she does. I don't really have a way of tracking who likes it. No, I was thinking, yeah, I like Raven Jade stuff too. She posted a new video yesterday of wearing her Halloween costume. Holy crap, smoking hot. Yeah, and she said she was considering going to the Monreal Halloween event. I ended up private messaging her and asked her if she's going. So yeah, it's hopefully more and more people are going. Let's make it a big party, right? That'd be pretty sweet. Especially with the whole pandemic situation, a lot of people can't do anything in real life for Entropia or for Halloween, so yeah, so there's the information about it. Halloween contest, October the 31st. And hey, even some babes are going like Raven. So you don't want to miss that kind of party, right? Alright, let's get back to it. Now, sorry ladies if you hate being called a babe. It's just my terminology from my generation. Now, when I was hanging out with Wayne Gretzky's dad one night, he was like calling some of the waitresses like sweetheart all the time. So I was thinking that's what they used to call ladies in his generation, right? Now, that's how I was lucky. Oh yeah, fucking I'm taking that tool and bringing it back. Get it away from me. Now, that's what I was lucky at that other job. I got to meet lots of really famous, important people. Fuck, hey, I was hanging out with Wayne Gretzky's dad, so that's like, that was like a dream come true for me, because I was like a big hockey fan my whole life. And my grandpa was the one who started me watching hockey. And if I could have told him before he died that one day I was going to get to hang out with Wayne Gretzky's dad, he would have been very proud of me, I think. Yeah, that was sweet. I got to carry his like luggage and stuff to his car. Got to talk hockey the whole way. I was like, yeah, good work, man. It's like you helped create the best freaking hockey player that will ever live. Now, some of Wayne Gretzky's records in hockey, if people don't watch, are so ridiculous that it's like most people are only dreaming to even make half of what he did, let alone tie his records. Yeah, if someone beats Wayne Gretzky's records one day, I'll be so impressed. And it's weird too. It's like, you know how in sports, like someone's really good and they usually have some special technique they use? And then you think that all the other athletes would copy it. Like how Mike Tyson was so good at the uppercut, but hardly any fighters copied the uppercut. If anyone wants to get good like Wayne Gretzky, say they're watching in Europe and their kids are like growing up playing hockey. I'd say in Canada, but hockey's almost going extinct here. But anyways, yeah, like if you're growing up playing hockey, try to learn Gretzky's move. I don't know why people aren't trying to learn it. Maybe because it's so hard that no one can do it. But you have to go into the archives and like watch how he scores goals. And like what goalies used to say is like playing hockey against Wayne Gretzky was like playing chess. It's like he wasn't going to beat you at the fastest slap shot. He wasn't going to beat you with anything that was amazing that way, like the most skilled. But he played it like chess. So it's like he was thinking always like 2 or 3 moves ahead. So it's like every time he moved, it's like the goalies are like, fuck. Because like when they would try to counter his move, he would already planned how to beat them again, right? Like, oh fuck, I'm dead. You son of a bitch. Yeah, so one of his famous moves, well, I guess not famous because no one's even using it, is a slap shot combined with moving. Oh my god, they put me all the way back here. You sons of bitches. Alright, so now I'm going to have to just take the teleporter and go to where I want to go. Yeah, so most players, when they want to do a slap shot, they'll skate up towards the net, stop, and then fire a slap shot. And then I was like, that's where Wayne Gretzky was getting people, is he could do a moving slap shot, and not only moving, but like high speed moving slap shots. So he would like skate up to the net, full speed, crank up for the slap shot without stopping. Oh god, it makes me teary-eyed just talking about it. Fucking love hockey. So the goalies said that they were fucked because what they would do is see Gretzky sliding towards the net. Oh, jeez. Okay, get myself together. And they would have a choice. They could either come out of the net, try to block his shot, or go deeper into the net and risk trying to stop his slap shot. So they said like they were screwed either way. If they went out of the net and tried to stop him from slap shotting, he would use that moving slap shot to just stop slap shotting, move the puck, and deke around him. So that's like using your brain, right? So instead of just being like the fastest skater, the hardest slap shot, he was using brains to outsmart the goalies. Man, God, I miss those days. I actually got to watch Gretzky play a game once in live person, and I traveled all the way to Buffalo to do it for my 16th birthday party. And the reason I did that instead of going to a game in Toronto, if you go to watch a game in Toronto, it's so expensive, only like super elite wealthy people can even afford the nosebleed seats. It's like thousands of dollars per ticket. I think, what is it, like $2,000 for like nosebleed seats? So it's like, holy shit, like I could never afford to watch a hockey game in Toronto unless you like won tickets or something. Yeah, so we had to travel all the way to Buffalo. And that's the thing, hockey is so unpopular in the US that you can get the tickets there for dirt cheap. It's like the cheaper than arena indoor football tickets. It's like no one watches hockey in the US. The stadiums are empty. I don't understand why like Gary Bettman, the owner of the NHL, doesn't expand hockey in Canada. He had the chance when it was popular here, but now he's actually lost that chance because hockey fans have been diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. Almost everyone switched over to soccer now because our culture got replaced when everyone came from non-European countries. But I don't really hate on it too much. It's like I can still enjoy hockey, and it doesn't matter to me if it's the most popular sport. It's actually kind of nice. If it became less popular, who knows? Maybe I'd be able to afford to watch it here one day. Yeah, so I got to see Gretzky play, and got to meet Wayne Gretzky's dad. It was fucking amazing. No, so that's some of the stuff. Trudeau came to our Oktoberfest. I was thinking, man, if I could start vlogging Oktoberfest stuff or just other events in Canada in general, every time someone's coming to travel here, they're going to type it into YouTube, and as long as my video is the most recent one, it'll come up right at the top of the list. So that's why people are often like, oh, the YouTube algorithm, it's rigged against me. It's like, that's one of the tricks I learned becoming a YouTuber, is the YouTube algorithm is not rigged against you. I don't know where these like victimhood people get that sort of mentality from. I know it's probably like if you suck at YouTubing and you want to try to find something to blame, or if you have a bad episode or something and no one watches it. Like, trust me, I know all about that. I used to do videos that were like an hour or two long, and I'd get like 1 or 2 views. I'd be like, oh god, what a waste. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, so that's one of the tricks when you're doing YouTubing stuff. Every time you make a new video, as long as yours is the newest, and say people sort by the newest, then all of a sudden, boom, yours will be right at the top of the list. It's not fucking magic. No algorithm that's out to get you. Oh, got some shit. No minerals here. So you guys find that as a trick when you find minerals on the surface, like just picking up shit and fruit and stuff. When you drop a probe there, there's never anything there. So I was thinking maybe that's one of the tricks, is when the game algorithm is dropping stuff, they'll put a little shit here, a little bit of Listerium over there, a little bit of Papillon here. They don't stack it all on top of each other, right? I could be wrong about that. There's just one of my guesses for the loot pool. Everyone's got their own theories, right? So I started doing that for the paranormal field, as I realized that there were certain guests that people posted in, or searched in YouTube a lot, like Billy Carson. He was my all-time biggest guest that I had on the show. And yeah, so I was like, okay, if I can get Billy Carson on, boom, my show is I'll get a lot of views because everyone's searching him. So yeah, what do you know? I did a video with him. Then when anyone typed into YouTube Billy Carson, guess whose video came up at the top of the list? It was mine. And that helped me get it up to like 50,000 views. So I was like, yeah, guys, if you want to use the algorithm to your advantage, just pick a topic people are going to be searching. I think there's a way, like a YouTube or some sort of website that'll show you common searches. And then take that search topic and make a new video about it. So then anyone who searches that topic is going to find your video. It's not rocket science, right? God, so many creatures everywhere. I just want to mine. Oh boy, this lion's going to attack me and then I'm going to have to make a run for the water. And I'm going to die just as I get in the edge of the water. So optimistic. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons when you do Entropia videos, so you're not going to get like chances of really going viral too much. Papillon. Is because there's not a whole lot of people going on to YouTube and then typing Entropia and hitting enter for search. And if they do, they're probably going to get tons of my videos. If it's sorted by, if they sort it by what's the newest. If they sort it by who is the most popular or whatever, then I'll probably get, what's that name? Serial Overdrive. Man, he's done really successful for his channel. Like, I think out of all the YouTube channels I've seen for Entropia, his is one of the most successful, right? I could be wrong about that. If anyone else wants to post a comment, if someone else that's really popular on YouTube for Entropia. I know Twitch streamers is like a whole nother ballgame. I really don't follow Twitch streamers very much, other than maybe Bonnie and a couple other ones. Oh yeah, Bonnie, Tia. I don't think Yoshi has a... No, I'm pretty sure she does. Well, maybe she does. Could be wrong about that. Whoa, that was a pretty good find. Yeah, so if anyone's looking to make a popular YouTube channel for Entropia, it's probably going to be a bit of a challenge. Could be wrong about that, but if you want to start making other content and then mixing it with that channel, it's probably the best way. Oh, there's a revive point here. Maybe I'll try looking down in there. Now, so that's one of my plans for the future. So when I start doing these vlogging videos, I'm going to plug Entropia in the travel ones too. Just be like, hey, if you want to check out my other content, watch my Entropia videos. So guys, don't worry, I'm going to not just like abandon everyone if I start doing travel vlogs. Or when I start. It's not an if at this point. Unless something bad happens where I can't do it, like I lose all my cameras again. No, I'm steadily getting rid of my stuff. I'm trying to break the hoarding and get rid of all the junk in my room so that I can manage to find stuff. Now, most people realize is that hoarding is a little bit of a stress relief too. Some people eat to relieve stress, some people hoard. I know my family got into hoarding as soon as the divorce happened. It's like our whole house used to be spotless, never collected junk. Then after my dad ended up moving out, and that's when the hoarding began. Now I still see my dad about once a year or so, but it's not like a strong family unit. Oh yeah, speaking of, so that's what my grandma was saying, is that she taught me that that's what the name Leland comes from, is leyland. So that's why I was thinking it was funny that I ended up researching ley lines. And then, yeah, what leyland translates to is a type of meadow, like a low-lying land. So they called it the leyland. And then that's where I think the term ley lines came from. That whole ley thing is type of land, and then lines, ley line. So maybe when I started researching ley lines, I shouldn't have called them gravity wells and stuck with the name ley. But I don't know, I just like gravity wells better. So yeah, when that book arrives, I'm going to do a book review, you guys, and one of the name things, like, you know how the Necronomicon is that thing on, whatchamacallit, Monria? That's what the ancients were putting in those, like, books that were, like, secretive or Bibles or whatever, is they were putting, like, the ley line energy points, and I think it had something to do with summoning, like, you could summon different entities at different ley lines and stuff. And then the other thing the ancients used those ley lines for is they were building, like, Stonehenges and stuff and alignment to them, pyramids. It's funny too, because the ley line map that I originally made was for the ancient sites, and I got some help from like Freemasons that were sharing their work, and managed to put together a giant map of the whole world with all the ley lines that matched all the ancient sites. You could literally use them to find all the ancient graves, tombs that haven't even been discovered yet. So I was like, man, this map would have a lot of potential for grave robbers. But when I decided to finish the ley line, I decided to use modern calculations and recalculate the map to match exactly how it is now, not like it used to be in ancient times. So technically what my map, the modern gravity well map, shows today is today's field. It doesn't show the ancient one where the sites lined up to it. But it's not off by much. Like how much the ley line pattern shifted since then isn't really a lot. Like I think if I had to estimate, like, you know the Gulf of Mexico? Well, currently the center gravity well point is near the center of that. And if you wanted to shift maybe like to 1/4 of the distance over, that's about how far it used to be. Like quarter of the way across the Gulf of Mexico, if it went 1/4 over, then that's what it would be. So maybe one day I'll go back and start sharing the map that shows all the ancient sites, but right now I'm just doing the gravity well points as they are today. But yeah, and then Perry Reese, the guy, yeah, it's funny, my real last name and Perry's last name are almost the same too. So I was thinking, isn't that weird? It's like the guy that was researching ley lines, I got the one half of his name, and then the other half of my name is named after the ley lines itself. It's almost like it was destiny. Kind of sad destiny. Ended up getting hit in the head with a fucking crowbar and then ended up researching it. So when you see someone you're destined to do something, be careful. Alright, geez, how much time do we got? We've got to do a break quick. Today's adventures were brought to you by Crack. Crack, it'll fuck you up. Woo! Yeah, so the other thing that comes with that book, similar to the Necronomicon, to keep it somewhat Entropia related, if you wanted some history about what the Necronomicon is all about, or was apparently about, could be mythical, some people believe it was a real book, but if anything, I bet the Necronomicon was actually just a myth based on the real books, including this one, the one I'm talking about right now. Alright, so what the Necronomicon would have, I theorize, because that's what it was based on, would be star maps. Like the ancients were really into like mapping how as above, so below, how the stars were affecting everything on the planet. So the different constellations, what they meant, how some of them were actually the keys to immortality. So that's where that Necronomicon thing would come in. Yeah, so when my book arrives from Turkey, not only does it have all the latest ley line information that they had back in those days that Perry Reese was using, but he said that he included how it connects to astrology as well. And I'm pretty sure every book I've read so far on ley lines, they've tried to connect it to astrology, but I've never really been able to grasp what they're saying. So I'm hoping going back to like the original textbook from like the early 1500s will give me a better clue to understanding that. And I'm starting to wonder like what happens when I understand the ley line technology and then I understand the astrology. They say that like as to become a good polymyth, like good in all fields, that was Da Vinci's key. He's like, in order to realize how all things connect, you're going to have a good base in all things. So it's like he's like, learn how to see, everything connects, right? So if I get some of these steps under my belt, like I've become a martial artist, got that part down, physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong, then you have to also learn the different maps and ley line energies. Then you have to learn how it connects to astrology. So that's like one of the last keys that I'm missing. And it's like, man, once I get that, then the only one left I have really to crack the code is I'll have to learn how to build Stonehenges, which is kind of really strange to say, but there is a person who managed to do it within our modern times, and his name was Edward Leeds Scallon, and he cracked the code of the pyramids and was able to build them. So it is possible for someone in modern times to learn the secrets of the ancients. It's a pretty ambitious plan. Obviously 99% of the odds is against me. I'll definitely fail, but hey, it's kind of a fun thing to work on. It's kind of like my Entropia videos. I just do it for the love of it. Not that I'm actually thinking I'm going to succeed somehow doing it. It's a journey, right? It doesn't always have to be about the destination. Yeah, so if anyone's into the Necronomicon and stuff and they want to put some stuff in the chat about it, sure, go right ahead. I don't mind if the comments are all Entropia related or not. Are you a devil worshipper? Now, the more I learned about demons and devils and all that stuff, like the cultist stuff from Monria, the biggest breakthrough I had was actually from the Vedic text. And they talked about demonic entities of, not only are they like more human-like than people realize, but apparently they had their own families and goals and dreams and everything too. So it's like they were a whole society. And then one of the things the ancient magi used to talk about demons is they were a little bit jealous of regular people because we can create stuff, but most of their powers are just being able to destroy stuff. It's like part of the balance, right? Like some people were given the ability to create, some were given the ability to destroy, so that there was enough balance, right? Creation, destruction. So they're often jealous about the people that are able to create. So that's where the demonic possession comes in. Is usually they'll get jealous enough that they take over control of someone that can create, and then they make them destroy. So that's kind of where you get, like, some people say Hitler might have been demonically possessed. If I had to guess, he was, because he was doing a lot of destruction. Usually anyone who has a lot of destructive traits in their personality, you can usually trace it back to some sort of demonic possession. I know a lot of people don't believe in demonic possession. I'd say I didn't right up until about 2 or 3 years ago. When I started to collect more evidence firsthand, I was like, holy fuck, this is way more serious than I thought. Now, like, and I started to realize it too, like some of the most gruesome murders that have occurred in our country were related to demonic possession. I didn't even realize until I started to find out how it worked. Like, one of the things demonic possession is into is they know all about the you are what you eat stuff. Remember, I've talked about diet and stuff on the show before? So there's that stuff, like if you eat like freshly killed stuff, and depending what it is, like if you eat something that was freshly killed from a human, you start to take their abilities. So that's what happened on one of the bus trips. It wasn't, thank God, the bus trip I was on, but I think it was actually the same bus route that I take to that holy mountain up north. But anyways, there's a guy that fell asleep on the bus, and then another guy who I think was suffering from demonic possession. So when he was suffering possession so bad that he had to destroy, and what he did is he fucking killed the guy that was sleeping on the bus. I forget how, he like stabbed him in the neck or something while he was sleeping, and no one seen him coming because he looked like just a normal passenger, right? You can't tell that someone's demonically possessed usually just by looking at them. And the whole proof that he was demonically possessed, sorry guys, you maybe just pause this, and it's really graphic, or skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. So what happened is he ended up cutting out the guy's eye and fucking eating it on the bus. Oh. So yeah, he had demonic possession so bad, he was into that fucking cannibalism point. And you know what's the scariest part about that murderer? After, like, obviously they easily caught him because how he did it was stupid. Like, who the hell, like, kills someone in front of a whole bus full of fucking witnesses? Yeah, so anyway, I don't know why people didn't fucking tackle the guy down and, like, beat the shit out of him, right? Like, as soon as I seen him stab someone, I would have been fucking tackling him. I guess the fear aspect, you don't want to risk getting yourself hurt, but man, I couldn't stand seeing that happen. I'd rather die than fucking let that happen without someone getting a beating. But anyways, yeah, not to promote violence. Yeah, you should just call the police and don't do any beatings. But anyways, yeah, police came, arrested the guy, and they took him in. And obviously they found out that he wasn't actually a murderer. What it was is he was like fucked up in his head, right? They couldn't figure it out because they can't really detect demonic possession. And you know what they ended up doing? They cured his insanity by like giving him medications or whatever, and they released him back into the public. Because apparently, like, if you're mentally insane and you're killing people, that means that you're not responsible for your own actions. In Canadian laws, I guess. So every time I'm sleeping on the bus, I'm like, man, I wonder if that fucking murderer is on this bus again, right? He's been released back into the public. I don't know, if I was in charge of the prison system, I probably would have put him in jail, insane or not, right? Yeah, we got more show viewers. Alright, hey man. Yeah, just recording, I should put. Alright, so who should I close? Let's close this person. Now I'm starting to wonder what news I'm going to find out today. Is there some boat that's crashed on the news? And has there been a fire somewhere? Or electrical fire? I hope it's not actually going to occur in my house. So I'm going to be fucking watching. He's tempting me. My viewers are just sitting back smoking joints. Come on guys. Maybe next year you can try to do the Sober October with me. Yeah, did anyone hear what Joe Rogan's been doing for Sober October? Basically what happened to me is he had all that extra energy and motivation to get shit done, so he pumped it into doing more exercises. So he's doing like training like crazy. And you can tell like just his body is transformed quite a bit just over Sober October. Like his chest definitely looked more defined. He's looking skinnier. He's probably eating a way less junk food. I know it's a lot to go through. The first week or two is pretty, first few days is pretty intense. You get jonesing, you want to smoke a joint again really bad. But once you get a few days under your belt, guys, don't be surprised that it's doable. Or if anyone's doing it for alcohol or caffeine or Percocets or whatever you're hooked on. 1 month a year isn't so bad to try to get yourself together, right? Man, I gotta pause it. Sorry, my nose was starting to run really bad. I don't know if you could hear it in my voice. Usually I get seasonal allergies every fall for some reason. I always get a really bad runny nose. It sucks. I know I've heard some people take injections to hinder their immune response, but I've never been into the injections, so drugs or even medicine, either can't stand fucking needles. My uncle has a phobia of needles so bad that even if he tries to give blood, he'll pass out. So I was like, man, that's actually kind of good in a way, because then you'll never have to worry about getting addicted to needles, right? It's like, just get that shit away from me! Now, he said he realized it when he went to, like, blood drive events and he tried to give blood. He's like, okay, I don't think this is going to work out, because my uncle's, like, what, 6'6" and, like, a huge guy. So it's like when he passes out, the nurse isn't really going to be able to catch him or anything, right? So yeah, I guess that's why they get you to sit down when you give blood. That's probably pretty common for some people. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's I often talk, like, some people often message me and they're like, hey man, can we use clips of your stuff in different videos? I'm like, yeah guys, share anything you want, change it however you want. If I was the leader of Canada, like the Prime Minister, the first thing I would do for our country, well, one of the first things, is abolish the entire copyright and trademark laws. And I'd also pass a law that protects us from any other people, other countries' copyright and trademark laws. So if they tried to sue us or something for copying their shit, I'd be like, nope, no, in our country it's legal. Because I looked into the history of copyrights. You know how copyrights first came into being? It was, I think, royalty or something, and they were trying to create a monopoly. So I'm like, right there, that's anti-American. Our freedom here in America, one of the things is to not have monopolies. So right then and there, that should have went against the whole copyright patent system. And other people might be against it, but I'll just say too, like, look at how it innovates. Copyrights and trademarks just hinder innovation like you would not believe. And you know how China grew to be so big and powerful? They got rid of all those laws. So they're able to copy or recreate anything without having to worry about other countries' copyrights and trademarks. They actually have more freedom than we do in America. So that's what I was thinking, like, here we're always knocking China, saying, oh, they're so fucking communist regime, they fucking take away everyone's freedoms. Meanwhile, here we are in fucking America with this stupid copyright and patent shit. So that's what I was thinking, can you imagine how drastically that would affect YouTubers? Like, all of a sudden we wouldn't have to worry about that. Then we could start creating better content. And if these companies say they're losing money because of our skills, it'll be like, fuck, then do it better, you jackasses. Don't anticipate fucking suing someone and stopping them from being good creators. It's almost like a demonic trait. They want to destroy. That's what fucking copyright and fucking trademarks are. No, and then artists will be like, oh, what happens if someone creates and does my art better than I did? Well, then improve your art, right? I know it's kind of like harsh and all, but really, it's like, what are you, some fucking baby? You're so worried that someone's going to take your creation and make it better than you did? Well, then make it better. Just... Yeah, my reactions about missing the race. I was so disappointed about that. Fucking it was the vaporizer that was screwing me over too. I was spending too much time doing weed, not paying attention to what time it was. Came to the event late and missed it. So that's one advantage to Sober October, guys, is it does help you get shit back on track. Although, not to say you won't make any mistakes, but I did make a little bit less mistakes usually. Looks like I bought way too many mines, eh? I was thinking, geez, I still have lots left. Or unless it's part of my ammo being included in this. And I think my roommate's just about to call me to move my Uncle Pete, and we just finished the mining mission, so this is pretty good timing. Alright, the bracers, texture, leggings, colorable limited, face masks, sleek pants. Let's keep building a leggings print. I want to get a really big one. And this will summarize or conclude what that guy was saying was correct. You can stack them. You just got to make sure that you have the exact prints. If one's colored and one's not, you won't be able to stack it. There we go. You can stack it. So now I got a leggings print with 10 clicks. So that's weird, eh? I wonder what's the ingredients difference. Wool cloth, malvedite, crystal. Is it exactly the same? 5/20/2010. 5/20/2010. Yeah, could be wrong, but it looks like the identical materials as well. Alright guys, so next episode what I'll try to do is maybe do some more crafting, finish up the Crafting Mania mission, or not Crafting Mania, the 1000 ped click mission. See if I'll bring all my loot back to Rocktropia, and then I'll set up my Rocktropia shop with some Halloween decorations. Sorry I'm so far behind on the ball. I should have had my shop decorated a long time ago. Hopefully I have some decorations. I think, geez, I might have dropped them all off at FOMA. Alright, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing for the next show. Thanks a lot to the viewers. Yeah, wish I made it to that. Alright, so yeah, we'll wrap up the show. Oh yeah, the one thing I almost forgot. The thing that helps keep me going and the show going. Hopefully one day we'll win the Bitcoin lottery and we'll all be rich. I'm just kidding. Who knows, right? Like if what John McAfee was saying, maybe Bitcoin one day will reach 1 million each. And if that's the case, anyone who's been doing these Bitcoin lottery spins, all of a sudden the value of your spins will go way up. Because it is based on Bitcoin. Alright, so 35,472. Let's roll. Boom! 35,490. Woohoo! Alright, so that was pretty sweet. Let's wrap up the show. Alright, if you want to help me out with Patreon, Society 6, Swagbucks, GameKit, Hideout TV, Bitcoin, and the virtual maid sex machine that's for adults and men only, but if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. Oh yeah, and the shirts finishing quick is my specialty. So ladies, if you don't want to be disappointed, you may want to find another sex machine. Just kidding. But anyways, yeah, what else was there? Oh yeah, the more info below, click that. That'll give you these links. And I think that's about everything. And if you happen to get any of these colorable leggings into your vaporizer and they taste like shit, give the show a dislike. Doesn't happen, you can give it a like. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. And make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Oh yeah, help with likes and dislikes too. I like the dislikes because I'll try to prove you guys wrong. You bastards! Just kidding. See you later. Yeah, dislikes help motivate, so come on, pile on those dislikes too. Alright, here's 3 things. See you later. Bye.